My first question is about sleep. Most of my life I fight sleep. And I know it must be necessary, and I don't know why or how. I feel like I would have so much more life if I didn't have to sleep, if I could just take naps, which I enjoy a lot.
That's a good way of getting your sleep, actually. It's actually a more productive way of getting your sleep. Your society has trained you into the belief that you need larger blocks of sleep, but your natural rhythm, follow your natural rhythm. When you say I fight sleep, that's not a good idea, because now you're saying sleep, which I think I need, I'm using as my reason to push against something. So, and that's much more problematic than not sleeping. Fighting something or pushing against something or being agitated or splitting your energy is much more problematic than not sleeping. Esther likes to sleep. She's a good sleeper. She sleeps easily and as long as she likes, and she likes the blissfulness of it. But sometimes, especially an event or before a flight or before something that is unusual, sometimes she doesn't slumber as well. She notices that when she gets her mind very active before it's time to sleep, then sometimes her mind remains active. So the other day, it was the night before they were going to drive here. It was they drove from Southern California on Friday, and the night before, Esther barely slept at all. She was aware of the clock all night long, and finally, about halfway through the night, when it was obvious to her that she was not going to get more than about 4 hours sleep, even if she went right to sleep right then, she began saying to herself soothing things. If I were really sleepy, I would be asleep. If I really needed sleep, I would be asleep. I'm probably getting all the rest I need by just resting here. This really is a comfortable bed that I'm in here. Giving herself sort of leeway rather than tensing against it. And then she said, the thing that helped her the most as she relaxed was, if my body really wanted sleep, it would be taking it now because I'm giving it every opportunity. And the fact that it isn't must mean all is well. And then she eventually slept for maybe an hour or a little more. And when she woke up, she said to Jerry, I didn't sleep, but it doesn't matter. I'm completely rested. And then she had just a little thought. But I'm going to drive all day, because she likes to drive. She knew she would be driving. She knew Jerry could, but she knew she probably would. And she thought, but I'm rested. And it was remarkable, because then she was able to drive the whole next day, 500 miles, and she never felt the least bit sleepy while she was driving, which was what she had worried about. In other words, she doesn't like that feeling of having to stay awake when she doesn't feel like staying awake, but it never came. She felt frisky and rested and alert all day long. And she showed herself, it was really a sort of breakthrough for her, because she showed herself that sleep is more than it's cracked up to be. In other words, it's about mental alignment. It's about aligning with what you want. Your body is as vivid and as emphatic and as directed and as clear-minded as you ask it and allow it to be. So just change your terminology and no longer say I fight sleep. Instead say I sleep when my body requires sleep, and I require little sleep, and I can get my refreshment in snatches, and I feel good, I feel alert mostly when I am awake, and there is so much life to be lived, and I am loving being consciously focused, and all of that.
Is sleep ultimately an actual physical necessity?
No, but the benefit that it gives you is this. When you slumber, it's like what you call your death experience, and we lovingly call your croaking experience. We try to be disrespectful of death since there isn't any. When you withdraw your consciousness from this physical environment, you reemerge into pure positive energy. It is closing the gap. It's stopping resistance that sleep affords you. So when you have that period of time with no resistance going on, your body benefits by that. But your body benefits. Have you heard it said that a little bit of time under hypnosis is equivalent to many hours of sleep?
Yes, I was going to ask you about hypnosis.
Well, the reason that that is so, and it isn't always the case, but the reason it can be the case is because in that hypnotic state, there is a releasing of resistance. In the meditative state, there is a releasing of resistance. In slumber, there is a releasing of resistance. In appreciation, there is a releasing of resistance. So it doesn't matter what method you use. We recommend a little bit of all of them. We would meditate, we would slumber, we would get in the vortex as often as possible. In other words, it's resistance that you want to release from your experience.
Okay.
And haven't you noticed, all of you, haven't you noticed the difference in the way you feel on a morning that you're waking up to do something you really want to do, as in a morning that you're waking up to do something you really don't want to do? In other words, that is that feeling of resistance that makes you want to pull the covers back up over your head and go back to sleep. Where if you're on your way to something that you want to do, you feel eager about it. And so everything that we've been talking in the vortex, sleep is not required or wanted. In other words, when you're in that vortex, you are at your peak of vibrational connection. It's when all of the connections are open and the energy is flowing and you are at your most alert aliveness.
Thank you.